What are we on, like day 700 of the 15 days to slow the spread? The fact of the matter is, I think we've learned, you give these people an inch, they will never let go. They are going to take a mile. They are going to restrict. They're going to mandate. They're going to lock you down. And we cannot accept that. Obviously, in Florida, we do not accept it. So there's no reason to be restricting or mandating anybody throughout our country.
Speaking of Florida, Ben Shapiro, editor emeritus of the Daily Wire, moved from L.A. to Florida during the pandemic, and he joins us, I believe, from Florida right now. Ben, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So the Senate has voted to block Joe Biden's vaccine mandate for employers. You have been fighting the federal government in court. Where are you at this point?
So basically, we are still on hold with the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals. The government sort of pushed back against a stay that had been put in by the Fifth Circuit. We put in a brief on that. So everything is sort of in a holding pattern at this point in the court system. Obviously, there's a national stay that's been put on the vax mandate. But we assume that eventually this case is going to reach the Supreme Court. And we've asked people to sign a petition that we've put out there called DoNotComplyPetition.com. Already 850,000 Americans have signed a petition saying they're not planning on complying with any sort of employer vax mandate pushed by this administration.
But we should point out, and you've said this on this program before, you're not anti-vax. You've been vaccinated. Your family's been vaccinated. We've all been vaccinated. You're just anti-vax mandate.
Correct. There's a massive difference between being anti-vax and anti-vax mandate, despite the attempts to literally redefine the term anti-vax in the dictionary. It just shows the cultural dominance of the left. Being anti-vax means that you actually think that the vaccines are actively bad. Being anti-vax mandate means that you believe that people should be free to make their own decisions, particularly when the scientific suggestion, the data show that even vax people are passing this, that vaccination is preventing hospitalization and death, but not transmission, that vaccination is preventing hospitalization and death, but it's not preventing people from getting the disease, although in lower numbers than people who are unvaxxed. So vax mandates are anti-logic, they're anti-science, and they're anti-freedom.
Ben, there are a lot of people watching that are sick of this. It's been 2 years of the government telling us and changing the rules over and over and going back and forth. If people want to get involved, they can sign your petition, right?
That's right. DoNotComplyPetition.com to get involved. And then you can move down. If you're in a blue state, move to Florida. Florida's a great state. You heard our governor.
We'd all like to.
You know, it's interesting. Governor Polis of Colorado said, you know,
Democrat.
The problem is, Democrat said, you know, the problem is unvaccinated in his view, but he's done. State of emergency is over. And here's the bad part. We lost 27 Air Force personnel yesterday because they refused to take the shot. We lost 34,000 healthcare workers in New York because they either have natural immunity or they're not comfortable taking the shot. Now, do you know that Anthony Fauci says we got to get a booster, so that's 3 for a lot of us. And they said we might have to get it annually. That'll be 4. And now with the Omicron, they're working on a different shot. How many shots are we going to get? Even the most pro-vaccine person, is there a limit to the pincushion in your deltoid?
No, I think that until your body is 80% composed of the actual vaccine, then they're not going to allow you to be free. Listen, if you actually think at this point that there is any point at which the left is going to allow you to live your life, that if you just do one more thing, the left will allow you to get back to normal, that's just not true. They made a promise. The promise was a lie. Their promise was they would be able to stop COVID. No government anywhere on earth has been able to stop COVID. The only thing the government can do is make the vaccines widely and universally available. They've already done that. That means now we all get to go back to daily life. And we here in Florida, we know that because we've been living normal daily life for well over a year at this point.
That's right. Ben Shapiro, author of a great book called The Authoritarian Movement. Ben, we thank you very much. Also, check out his The Ben Shapiro Show. Thank you, sir.
Ben.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.